That's the way it should be. Also, this is, I might go back to that in a second, but I just randomly saw this. OnlyFans creator said she was paid by Biden admin to spread political propaganda. What?
I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then, like, you know, female privilege, life is so easy for a, you know, woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out, and then, you know, TikTok was basically full-time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from, like, the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and, like, dating apps and stuff. So it was, like, fully financially, you know, sustaining
So you were getting, the Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Yeah, I was doing full-on political propaganda.
And they would just, really, with, like, what kind of, like, Biden created 10 million jobs
Yeah,
this year?
yeah, honestly. And the funny thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad, because, you know, they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted, like, some edgy girl of color to just tell people, like, when they nominated, like, Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say, like, as a person of color, you know, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, you know, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so, I think that black-pilled me slightly on, like, you know, political propaganda stuff.
So the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young,
yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah, and the message is like,
Well, they're all doing this because it's completely unregulated. So it's happening on all sides. You saw DeSantis do this a lot. I mean, I'm sure Trump, I'm sure they're all doing it. But it's not regulated at all. I mean, I hate to call for more regulation, but
like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson, and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically, as like another black person, just say that, like, you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like, I never, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like, I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
all right.
I
I just wanted to show that before I forgot. That happens on all sides. It's not just Biden or DeSantis or Trump, but it's really gotten insidious now, and they don't have to disclose it, and it's can be completely off the books, or they can pay through LLCs and all kinds of different ways, where it's not even you can't even see where it's being spent in the campaign money either.
That's
which is even crazier.
What the First Amendment is, okay? It's not for the
also, she didn't look very black to me. I thought she was like Indian or something, or
it's friendly for the establishment. It's for the speech you find offensive. It's for the speech that is controversial. It's for the speech that, you know, in the case of the Palestine protesters, that challenges powers that be and the status quo. So I love your idea. Someone needs to take that up. The First Amendment monitors on college campuses, that's a great freaking idea.
Yeah.
Some Ilhan Omar or whoever.
Is that Richard Haney? I don't even know who that was.
Would really make it very difficult for all these people who claim to be free speech bros when it was their side of the equation that they felt was being censored. Now you're jumping on board with using the power of the federal government to quash legitimate criticism of U.S. funding and involvement in a foreign conflict? Like, what are we doing here? It's such complete insanity. And I guarantee you, if it was anything else, you know, if it was certainly like the trans bigotry monitor on campus, you would be right there. And listen, to do the flip side, I'm sure there are people who would have supported the trans bigotry monitor, who are involved in the protests now, are supportive of the protests, who have a problem with this. How about we just all learn the lesson that we protect free speech even when it's things that we specifically in our political ideology disagree with? Okay, so that's that. Incredible things were happening at Northeastern University over the weekend. The Daily Beast with a rare W here, exposing what was an incredible hoax, basically, that unfolded. Put this up on the screen. So their headline says it all. A pro-Israel agitator shouts, "Kill the Jews," and gets everyone else arrested.
You know, on its own, actually, as the Daily Beast article. But yeah, an infiltrator came in and did.
Were happening at Northeastern University.
Yeah, listen to this. I had this story pulled up on its own.
A rare W here,